Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to recap the games that I played in February 2022. I usually try to put this out the first week of March or the next month, but been having some technical difficulties with lighting and my computer over the last few weeks, so I think I've finally got it straightened out. Hopefully this will be the last time I have to try to record this, even though it's in the middle of the month. I'm glad to share with you the games that I enjoyed and the games that I played in February. So if you're curious to find out what they were, stay tuned. In February, I played 40 gameplays of 17 different games, 10 of them that were new to me. I'm going to kind of recount them from the least played to the most and going through the games that weren't new to me first, and then the new games after. So starting with the least played game that was a repeat is Unlock Epic Adventures. And I don't actually have a copy here, so I'll put a picture on the screen. But we finally played the third episode in that collection. It's the 007 sort of secret spy adventure, and really enjoyed that. Had some friends over one night and just enjoyed that spy mystery game together. Another one that was a return to the table was Groundhog Day, and being February, it's always fun to celebrate Groundhog Day. We watched the movie, we played the game a couple times, and enjoyed that one. This is one of my wife and I's favorite games for just sitting down and getting a quick cooperative game. It's easier with two players, I think, than it is with more, but we've enjoyed it both ways. So Groundhog Day was a lot of fun this month. Next up, one of my favorite all-time games, and that is After the Empire by Gray Fox Games. And After the Empire, like I said, is one of my favorite games of all time. I was able to teach it to some of my friends who'd never had a chance to play it. They really enjoyed it as well. I'm looking forward to back the second printing in order to get the official solo cards, because I have played with their sort of print and play version, but excited to get those solo cards and play the official version soon this year as well. So After the Empire, another great one in February. Next up, Between Two Cities, and this one I have a review for that I posted not too long ago, about a month ago. I'll put a link here up above. Between Two Cities is a Stonemaier game where you are building up a city of tiles on your left and on your right, cooperatively with the person on your left and on your right, respectively, and you're trying to get the best score on your lowest scoring castle to win the game. Clever game, unique mechanism. Between Two Cities and Between Two Castles, two Stonemaier games have that similar style. Between Two Cities is simpler, and if you're curious to know more what I thought about the game, you can check out that review. So Between Two Cities was one more that we played this month. Next up, a big box game, and we've played this one a number of times over the month, and that is, Role Player Adventures by Thunderworks Games. Role Player Adventures is the one that for February and March we wanted to try to get 10 gameplays in that 2-month time. The month ended up going by February faster than we thought. We only got 4 games in February, and so far in March, it's almost halfway through, and we haven't played it again. It's still sat out on the table. We need to dive back into this one. What we found, though, is a lot of people seem to be able to play this one very fast. It usually takes us 2 to 3 hours per chapter, so I don't know if we're just really slow or if we talk a lot or what, but my wife and I are really enjoying this game. But it is taking us longer than we thought. Hopefully we can still get up to those 10. If we get to the 10th game, that means we'll have finished all of the chapters and the side quests and the backstories and everything. So we're hoping to do that by the end of March. We'll see if we can make that happen. It might have to leak into April a little bit when my wife has her spring break. So Role Play Adventure is a great one by Thunderworks Games. Next up is one, I don't actually have the game we're playing, but I have the Jaws of the Lion version. This is the copy that I own, but one of my friends owns the original Gloomhaven, and we've been meeting on Tuesday nights, the 3 of us, 2 of my buddies, and playing Gloomhaven, usually 2 scenarios every week. And we played 2 more each week in February, so we got this one to the table 8 times. Really enjoying Gloomhaven. I did enjoy Jaws of the Lion a little bit that I played. I played a few of the scenarios just to kind of get used to this, and but we're loving digging into the original with my friends there on a weekly basis. So that one was one that I played 8 times in February. And then another one that I played 8 times, Rolling Realms, another Stonemaier game. This is a roll and write. You got these big chunky green dice. Actually, though, most of the time that I've played, I've been playing with the play-along videos that Jamie Stegmaier has put up online on YouTube and Facebook, I think. And I just follow along and play along with him, and I do 3 episodes and count that as a game, and 3 episodes and count that as a game. And so got this one to the table 8 times in February as well. Got to try out the Rolling Realms realm and also the Terra Mystica realm. And I've recently ordered the Libertalia realm, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. In fact, I think it might be arriving today. And so looking forward to trying that one as well. So that is the most played. This one and Gloomhaven together tied for the most played game returning to the table in February 2022. And now let's get into the new games. What was fresh and new at the Webb household? First up, Abstract Academy. And we played this one a few times in February and then a few times in March. And then right around the beginning of March, I put out a review for this. So you can check that out if you're curious to see. It's a little card laying game. You're trying to build out patterns, and it's a competitive game. And the abstract patterns, every round that you play a 3-round game, you're trying to get different patterns and try to beat the opponent. It's typically a 2-player game. You can't play it with 4 players, although I haven't tried that yet. On this one by Crafty Games and Flat Out Games. It's a cute little game. I think a lot of people really like it, especially if you like abstract games, and if you like a game that you can play in under a half an hour, fits in your pocket, nice little Abstract Academy experience that we had in February. Next up is a game, several of the next games I don't actually own and played them at game nights with various friends. So the next one is Long Shot the Dice Game. This is a recent Kickstarter fulfillment by Perplexed Games, and one of my buddies had it. He brought it to game night. We enjoyed playing a round of that. It's a fun thing where you're rolling the dice, you're trying to bet on horses, buying horses, manipulate the race. Clever little game. I enjoyed it. Just got to play that one time at a game night. Another one that was new to me is a classic, Tigris and Euphrates, a Fantasy Flight Games Mayfair Games edition. And it was really clever. I really enjoyed that one. I'd never played one like that. And I've only just played it that one time, and it's around the beginning of February, but really did enjoy Tigris and Euphrates. Would love to maybe add that one to my collection and try again. Another one that I don't own, Dwellings of Eldervale. Another friend of mine, we gathered together and played that one, a few of us. It was a 4-player game. Beautiful production, just an incredible production, really. And really clever gameplay. It isn't necessarily my favorite kind of game, but I did enjoy it. And I would love to play it again. I probably wouldn't be investing. It's such an expensive game. I don't think I enjoyed it enough to own it, but I'm glad that one of my friends does so that I'll have a chance to play it in the future again. Next up, another one that I don't own. We gathered on a Saturday early in February and spent the whole day playing Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. I've always wanted to play this one. It's one of those, you've got to experience it at some point. Kind of like Dwellings of Eldervale. Not necessarily a game that I would want to own or play a lot, but it's a game that I would want to play maybe a couple times a year so I can remember it. And it's just a fun experience. I did enjoy it quite a bit and look forward to playing again. Next up, another one that, again, I don't own, Hadrian's Wall. But this is one I'm quite certain I will own in the future because I loved this game. It's a Garfield Games edition. It's a flip and write, really, but you have 2 pieces of paper and you're shading in different blocks and trying to protect the Hadrian's Wall while you're building up gladiators and you're collecting resources. And it's just a really combo-tastic roll and write game that I really loved and look forward to picking up my own copy soon. All right, one game that I do own on this list, El Grande, and this is the decennial edition. Played this one actually for the first time, though. I've had it in my collection for a while, but just hadn't been able to get it to the table. It's best with 3 to 5 players, and most of the time it's just my wife and I, so had a chance to play this at a game night with 4 other people, so really enjoyed this one. This one was very clever. This is a kind of a game I really do enjoy. Although, even as much as I enjoyed it, I'm not sure if I'll keep my copy because I don't think my wife would. It doesn't play well at lower player counts, and I've got a couple friends that own it, so I'm thinking about maybe trading this one because I don't know how often I'll get it to the table, and it's got quite a bit of value, but I'm torn because I really liked it, and it's the decennial edition, so yeah, we'll see if I end up keeping this one or not, but I really did love it a lot. El Grande. All right. Next up is Treeblox, and I did put out a little preview of this right before it came out on Amazon, and I've been enjoying this one both myself and with my wife, and also with some students at my school. Some of the guys in my advisory at school have really enjoyed this, coming in during lunch break and other times to play against each other or against me. This is a clever game where it's a 3D building game where you have this nice wooden board, and you're plugging in these Lego-type pieces, and some of them are stems and branches, and some of them are leaves. And you're trying to have the most visible leaves when viewed from above at the end of the game. Clever, kind of 3D chess-like game, abstract. Really enjoy this one. My wife didn't enjoy it as much, so I don't know how often we'll play it, but I've mainly been keeping it at school so the guys at school can play it with me or with each other. Really a fun, clever game. Enjoying Treeblox by Emergent Plant Life Games. And the last 2 new ones to me, one is Dune Imperium, and this This is one that I had wanted to play since it came out in, I think, 2020. Never got around to it, or maybe it was 2021, late 2020, early 2021, something like that. And then the Rise of Ix expansion came out. And actually, the first time I played with the Rise of Ix expansion. Second time I played just a base game, and then since then with the Rise of Ix expansion. And Dune Imperium is rapidly rising up my list of favorite games, especially with the Rise of Ix expansion. Even without, though, I loved it. And with the expansion, even more. Really love those technology tiles. Love the way that you're choosing the actions by where you place your workers. Yeah, just a great game. One that I'm truly loving. Dune Imperium is by Dire Wolf Games. And then my most played game that was new to me is Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. This was a review copy sent to me by Stonemaier Games just ahead of the pre-order, and I played it quite a few times at solo, at 2-player, at 3-player, at 4-player, at 5-player. Haven't played with 6 yet, but really enjoy Libertalia Winds of Galecrest, and I'll be putting together my review hopefully this week if I truly have all these technological issues taken care of. I'll be putting that review up hopefully in the next several days. I'd like to get that taken care of. So those are the games that weren't new or were new to me in the month of February. So again, 40 gameplays, not bad, 17 different games, and getting 10 off the shelf that were new to me. Really a good month of gaming. So as we wrap things up here, my favorite games of the month, in terms of the ones that were revisiting the table, I have to go with After the Empire. I mean, it's just a terrific game. I really, truly love this game. So in terms of returning to the table, my favorite. Role Player Adventures is right there on its heels, though. We've been having a lot of fun with that. But After the Empire gets the winning vote for best game of the month at Return to the Table. And then for best new game of the month, kind of spilled the beans when I talked about it, but that's going to be Dune Empire. I really did love Hadrian's Wall as well, and El Grande. Lots of great games this month. Some classics and some new ones, but this one I could see this one cracking my top 10 games of all time. I want to play it a few more times before I make that call, but yeah, really loving Dune Imperium. So those are my favorite games of the month. Down in the comments below, tell me what yours were. What were your favorite games in the month of February? Or since we're almost halfway through March, how about even the first half of March? What have you been loving getting to the table at your household? If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up, and it'd also be terrific if you would subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed my videos and want to see what other things I offer in the future. And as always, thanks for watching. This is Billy Indiana, signing off.